This is question 7 from the Chapter 6 test in the textbook. So Chapter 7 says, of the members of a track and field club, 42% entered track events at the most recent provincial meet, 32% entered field events, and 20% entered both track and field events. We need to illustrate these entries with a Venn diagram, then find some probabilities. So first thing I'm going to do is define our events. So like T can be the member participating or entering a track event, and then F can be the member entering a field event. Okay, cool. So it's telling us, well, okay, let's first illustrate this with a Venn diagram. So we're going to have two parts of the Venn diagram. This will be called T, and then this will be called F. And it's telling us that 20% entered both track and field events. So that's like 0.2 right off the bat. Then it's telling us 42% entered track events. But remember, included in the 42% is the 20%. So to find what number we put here, we have to subtract 20% from 42%. This is going to be for 0.42 minus 0.2, and that will give us 0.22 for just this section of the Venn diagram. It's just this section. And it's the same story with the field event, with F. If we want to find just this section, we need to take away 20% from 32%. We just do this, and that gives us 0.12. Wow, I was blanking on that. Okay. I'm going to also draw a box around the Venn diagram. And the reason for this, actually, let me just clean this up a little bit because we don't need these. We don't need these. Is because we need to look at the numbers outside the Venn diagram. So, like, in other words, what is here? Remember, we're working with probabilities. So whatever probabilities you have, the sum of probabilities should be 1. In other words, if I add this up, if I add this to this and this, if I add like all three of these, and I add whatever is outside, let's call that x, that should give me 1. And there is your equation. So if you like solve for x, you're going to find that x is 0.46. That's what's outside. We're going to need that later. Usually you don't have to do this, but we're going to need that for part B. So I'm going to put that like 0.46 here. Okay, so we took care of A. Now it's time for B. B asked us two things. One, we want the probability of T union F entered either a track event or a field event. And we want the probability of basically not T and not F. The complement of T and F. So for 2, we want to know what is outside the Venn diagram. So that's why in A, I took the time to calculate probability outside the Venn diagram. It's because for E2, for this question, like right here, we need that. So I'm going to just write that, like answer that right away. I'm just going to write, I'm going to switch this order. These, whoa, wow, that is bad. I'm going to switch the order here. Oh, come on. Okay, so for 2, it's going to be just 0.46, because we took the time to calculate that. Then for I, we got to take the time to calculate this too. So let's get on with it. Okay. So for I, we want track event or field event. That is basically saying we want the entire Venn diagram. That's pretty simple. We're just going to add up all the numbers that we have. So 0.22 plus 0.2 plus 0.12, and this is going to be equal to 0.54. And if you want to check if you did this correctly, in 1 we were asked for the entire Venn diagram, and then in 1 we were asked for the entire Venn diagram, and then in 2 we're asked for the stuff outside the Venn diagram. So basically this part over here. So if you add up the blue, like the probability for the blue area and the probability for the yellow area, they should be 1. So in other words, if you add up this and this, they should be 1. And indeed, they are 1. So we can be sure that we did this question correctly.